Good morning. Good morning, YouTubers. I'm back. Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm sorry about that, my beautifuls. 1975 child is telling you to keep smiling. Stay happy, stay blessed, stay sweet, and overall, always keep God first, because without Him, we ain't shit. Now, with that being said, I'm in my kitchen and I am cooking. Today is Sunday. I'm getting ready to watch church on TV. I live on the internet, on YouTube. It's the easiest way to go, especially with this COVID situation. But those who don't go to church, I applaud you. I try my very best to find a higher power and a higher ground for myself. Now, today's one of those days, guys. It really is. Sometimes I wish I had a boyfriend so I wouldn't have to be alone. But then there are those times that I'm happy I'm single because all my friends put up with a lot of boo-boo and I don't want to be part of that boo-hoogie that they put up with. So, yeah, I'm kind of glad that I don't deal with that. But then again, I'm sad because I would like to deal with that. Lately, I've been thinking about more and more. Sorry about that, guys. Now you guys really can't see me because my hands are wet. And I cover the camera piece. I'm going to have to get the other one to do this. But here we go. Let's try this again, yeah? Hi. 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 So, like I was saying, like I really want to move. No, I wanted to move to the West Coast. I really did. I've been urging to see the West Coast, but I think I'll visit because I really want to. I think I just want to stay in ground and travel. Like I live in Boston. Living in Boston allows me to see the beach, allows me to go to Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine. Even if I wanted to go to Canada, I could. To the Cape, I can. Rhode Island, I can. Those are the surrounding states that are around me, so it's easy to drive to get to them. A couple of hours here, a couple of hours there. Um, but it's snow up that way. And with climate change and everything else, and all these fires in California, all these tornadoes in Oklahoma City and Kansas and stuff like that, I don't know where I really want to go. How do you get toothpaste? Toothpaste! That's toothpaste! Anyway, I want to know if Tennessee sounds good. I have a friend who is eager for me to move down that way. And I'm really taking up her opportunity. I think I will take up the opportunity because I need a change. And including the fact, honestly, I don't know if I fit here anymore in Boston. You know when you just feel you don't fit in your city anymore? Like you grew out of your city? Yeah, I feel that way, and which is strange, but I do feel that way. I feel like I grew out of my city. So, but then I feel that I'm here for another reason. Like I'm on this earth opportunity for another reason. Like I only say this is because my story is deep, 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 and deep. So here it goes. I'm Jackie, Jacqueline for short. Um, I would say my last name, but you don't really need it. You can find me up on social media and you'll find everything else about me. But I was raised with my grandparents. I'm full-blooded Puerto Rican. I was born in Mayagüez, Puerto Rico. I do fluently speak Spanish. Um, I have 4 children, 2 boys, 2 girls. Um, yeah, 2 boys, 2 girls. I have 7 grandkids. I have 5 girls, 2 boys on the grandchildren status. I love all my children. I've had them very young. Yeah. And my first son at 15 years old. My story goes way in part to some of the Latino community would understand the low income community or the poverty community, but I would most likely say the Spanish community would understand I had my kid at 15. No, I wasn't a sexually active person. First time I had sex, I got pregnant. Yeah. Yes. Was I a good kid? No. I can't deny the fact that I wasn't a good kid. I really wasn't. My grandparents raised me. Um, I'm a side bitch kid. A lot of us back then don't assume that your mother, if you don't know who your daddy is or you know who your daddy is and you guys are not together, they weren't together or whatever, be prepared. Um, I am a kid, side bitch kid if you want to call it. Um, my mom and my dad fought over me all the time. My daddy was a married man. My mother wanted him. She had him actually, but she was the mistress. Um, and this is me putting the story together because my father has 13 children, including me, makes 14. And I don't know my siblings due to the fact that my mother was the mistress. This woman knew my mother and basically discard me from my understandings, as my grandparents said, discard me. So my parents used to fight over me all the time. My father wanted me to stay in Puerto Rico. My mother took me to the States, brought me here. I went back and forth for a few years until my grandparents just said, fuck this, I'm taking her. I'm tired of you guys playing ping pong. She's not a child to play ping pong. You have her confused. Yeah, so that's where my beginning tragedy of PTSD starts. I don't remember or recall none of this stuff. This is stuff I do recall coming back and forth from Puerto Rico. But I don't, it's vivid for me to remember what my father looks like, to be honest with you. Um, he passed away when I was 21, so I never really officially got to meet him or my siblings. I met one of my siblings due to my sister. My sister hangs out with one of my cousins who's on my father's side. And this is where the story gets really deep and ugly. My sister can't claim me when she hangs out with my cousin from my father's side. And my cousin from my father's side doesn't claim that she knows me. But she has brought me one of my brothers. It goes that bad that I don't know what my mother did that it caused them to really hate me. And I'm just the innocent one out the situation. I I think I'm doing this now because my children have children, and I don't want my grandkids to end up with their cousin and literally like being their first or second cousin because my daddy was a hoe, and like his children don't want to meet me. But yeah, my mom was a drug dealer growing up. My mother did a long time serving in jail. I was emancipated at 15. I've been on my own in my own apartment since I was 15 years old. I don't know what it is to live with anybody. I don't know what it is to just have everything handed to me. I don't know what that is. You got to remember, I was born in the 70s, raised in the 80s. Tupac and Biggie raised me. I could survive anything. That's the way they say it nowadays, right? It's like, don't fuck with us. Basically, don't fuck with this Generation X right here. This Generation X is we ruthless. Um, I have a sister and I have a brother. My brother's the oldest from my mom's side. I have two siblings, including me, it'd be three. It goes my brother, my sister, and me. I'm the baby. Me and my sister have the same color eyes. My brother and my sister have the same dad. I just don't. But then again, I'm not sure because over the years we found out that the man that raised me with my mom when I used to go to my mom's house on the weekend is now he's actually my sister's dad, biological dad. My sister did DNA. So the last name that my sister's had carried all her life is actually not her last name. But I give it to my brother's father for doing the right thing, standing up, raising my sister, giving her a last name. So my brother and my sister are like literally siblings is what it looks like. By father and mother. I am by mom, not by dad, but we all are by mom, not by dad. But we're siblings. So I don't know what that is to be step siblings because I don't know none of that bullshit. I really don't. Let's see what else could I tell you about myself. I was in a domestic relationship for many, many years. I ended up with two children from that domestic abuse. Um, a boy and a girl. And my daughter will never give me grandkids. She don't want any. She does want kids, but she says she want to adopt. She don't want to mess up her body. And then my son has four children, 2 and 2. And I raised him apparently right too because one of my grandkids aren't actually my grandchildren. I don't know how to put it. No, they're not adopted or anything like that. My son and his wife had separated for a couple of years, and she ended up in another relationship and had another baby. They got back together when the baby was born, and my son gave her his last name. So I have four. It's who you raise is not who you make. Becomes parent. So I did something right by teaching him that. Let's see. I have an older son. He's 30. He'll be 31 this year in April. I have a 30-year-old, a 27-year-old, 27, 28. LJ, I think is 28. I'm not sure. 28. Angelique is 25, and Kimara just turned 21. Those are my children. Those are the names of them. That's their names. I have Carlos, LJ, Louis, Angelique, and Kimara. Yeah. And the cool part about me, they know their daddy. At least I know who I slept with. They know their daddy. I wasn't that hoe. Don't get me wrong, I was a hoe, but that was after I had the kids. No. Anywho, work field. My work field is customer service and medical. I do private care as well as CNA work. My whole life always been around organization and civil rights and stuff like that movement, housing agendas and stuff like that. Nonprofit is the best way I can put it. Nonprofit in the community. I still do that. So yeah, sorry you guys are gonna see my face for a few seconds. I gotta pick up my air purifier. Okay. This COVID got everybody buying all kinds of stuff. You know what I'm saying? This was a gift from a gentleman that I was dating at the time during COVID. Well, before COVID actually, and he bought me an air purifier because I worked COVID. I just left the medical field a few months ago. I have PTSD, so the COVID kind of gravitated to that, and like it fed off my PTSD, so I had to retire for a little bit. Is the best way to put it. Retire for a little bit and get my hair and my head cleared back up. Like from everything that has happened. Like, yeah, COVID had just really damaged me more than what it was. Yes, I have had COVID.